Alright, you for my clothes. You, my fucking daddy. Ain't no bitch for my clothes.
YB do slap some of them. But it's the simple fact that he the boss, so it's like, nigga, can I touch him?
NBA YoungBoy got caught on camera getting into it with his own crew. And this time, it's not just internet gossip. DJ Academics himself pulled up to YB's house and confirmed he saw YoungBoy yelling and getting physical with his team. Nobody dared to push back, because when one man is feeding everyone, they're not about to bite the hand that keeps them afloat. He's not just the star of the group, he's the one making sure everyone eats and lives good. Step into NBA YoungBoy's world and you instantly feel how much control he's got over everyone around him. This isn't just about rap or fame, it's about survival. Every person in that circle depends on him. He's the one paying the bills, helping families out, making sure everyone's taken care of. That kind of loyalty looks solid from the outside, but deep down, it's all about power. When your whole life runs through one man's success, you're not about to stand up to him, even when things go too far. That's why what DJ Academics described had fans losing it online. But for the people closest to YB, it wasn't shocking at all. Academics is one of the few media people YB actually trusts enough to visit his house. And when AK told the story, he confirmed what fans had been whispering about for years. YoungBoy really does get heated with his crew. He said he personally saw YB yelling and getting aggressive with his homies, and nobody dared to step in. It was like watching grown men getting talked to like kids, being scolded by a strict parent. And the wildest part, nobody said a word or stood up for themselves.
YB do slap some of them. But it's the simple fact that he the boss, so it's like, nigga, can I touch him? Like, don't matter if you won't touch him. I ain't gonna let you touch him. Nobody around gonna let none of the real members gonna let you even touch him. So it's like, they go get their ass slapped. Or whatever will happen, Ain't nobody gonna touch him.
They just stood there, taking it all in silence. That's the dark reality of YB being the provider. Everyone in his crew knows they can't turn on the same man who keeps their family secure. Because if YB decides he's done with you, life can change overnight. Bills unpaid, doors closing, and people struggling again. That kind of control makes him untouchable in his own circle. You can even hear it in how the people around him speak. It's always respect mixed with just a hint of fear. Like they know at any second things could switch up. From the outside, it looks crazy. Why would anyone let another man talk to them like that? But when that man is the reason you got food on the table and a roof over your head, the answer becomes clear real quick. It's not just about loyalty or friendship, it's full-on dependency. That's the real source of YoungBoy's power. He's built himself into the center of everyone's world, and once you're part of that circle, walking away might cost way more than staying. It's not easy to cut ties when everything you have depends on one person. And if there's one person who proves how deep YoungBoy's influence really runs, it's his right-hand man, Lil Dump. He's not just some background homie, he's been riding with YB since day one. Through all the ups, the drama, and the chaos. It all started when a picture popped up online showing Lil Dump with a busted lip and blood running down his face, and fans went wild with speculation. Fingers immediately pointed to YB, with people convinced he was behind it. And honestly, when you match that picture with the stories from academics and other insiders, it starts to sound way too believable. YoungBoy has a reputation for losing his cool with the people closest to him. And since Dump has always been one of his tightest homies,
My brothers in this, y'all this nigga black my eye, man. I don't want to talk. Go get my shake back. Go get it.
many think he's been caught in that storm more than once. But instead of clapping back or even speaking about it publicly, Dump stayed silent, still showing up right beside YB like nothing ever happened. That silence said everything. It showed fans exactly how deep that loyalty runs inside that circle. YB isn't just the leader. To a lot of these guys, he's like family. Dump even confirmed it himself. In one viral clip, he literally called YB his daddy. And it wasn't a joke or a troll, it was pure respect, the kind that comes from being raised up and guided by someone you see as a mentor. To Dump, YB isn't just another rapper chasing fame. He's the man who looked out for him, fed him, and gave him purpose when the world turned his back. Dump sees YB as the reason he made it out of the trenches, the one who helped him build a new life. So even when YB goes too far, that loyalty never fades. And YB knows it. That's why he feels he can check his crew the same way a parent might check their kids and still keep their loyalty afterwards. In a strange way, Dump's story shows just how complicated the bond in YB's circle really is. There's love, there's brotherhood, but there's also fear and control mixed right in. Dump might call him daddy out of respect, but that word says a lot. It captures exactly what YB represents to his people. He's the one who provides, protects, and sometimes corrects. And for someone like Lil Dump, who's grown up under his wing, it's hard to separate all those sides. It's loyalty, discipline, and dependence all tangled together. Now, when it comes to YB's mindset, that's a whole nother layer. One thing that sets NBA YoungBoy apart from most rappers is how real his emotional battles seem. With other artists, the chaos can look staged, just part of the image. But with YoungBoy, it feels raw, unfiltered, and straight from the heart. The sudden changes in energy, the emotional moments, the times he disappears from the spotlight, it's all part of who he is. And he's even talked about it himself. YoungBoy has opened up about dealing with bipolar disorder. And once you understand that, a lot of his behavior starts to make more sense. Fans have noticed it for years. One moment, YoungBoy will be on live smiling with his kids, saying he just wants peace and move forward. Then out of nowhere, his mood switches, his tone changes, and you can see that inner struggle come out right on camera. That same pattern shows up in how YoungBoy treats the people closest to him. His crew isn't just his group of friends. They've become the ones who feel his moods the most. When his emotions swing, they're usually the first ones in the line of fire. And the tough part is, they can't really push back. Remember, YoungBoy is the one providing for everyone around him. He's paying the bills, making sure families are good, and keeping people fed. If anyone tries to check him, they're risking the life and security he's helped build for him. So instead, they stay quiet and hold it down, even when things get rough. It's a dangerous kind of loyalty, not just because it puts them in tough situations, but because it gives YB even more control. He knows that no matter how wild things get, nobody's walking away. That's what makes the cycle so hard to break. Once you depend on someone that much, it's almost impossible to step away.
DJ Academics broke this down better than anyone else. After visiting YB's house, AK said it was like watching calm skies turn into a storm out of nowhere. One moment, everything was peaceful, then suddenly, YB was checking his crew like they were little brothers who needed to be set straight, raising his voice, pacing around, and making sure everyone knew their place. But just hours later, the same YB would be laughing, cracking jokes, and showing love to the same guys he just pressed earlier. That's the cycle right there. Moments of tension followed by affection, all back to back. It keeps everyone around him off balance, never knowing which version of YB they're gonna get next. And what's even crazier is how normal it's become inside his circle. They've learned how to move around him carefully, like walking on eggshells, never sure when things might flip. And when YB does lose his cool, his people remind themselves of the good moments, the times he looks out for them, makes sure their mom's rent is paid, or surprises them with gifts and new opportunities. It's like he can break them down one moment, then lift them right back up the next, keeping everyone locked into his world even tighter. For someone like Lil Dump, walking away from that bond feels impossible. To him, YB isn't just a boss, he's family. And when family is also your provider, your protector, and the only one you truly trust, it's hard to see the difference between love and control. You start to convince yourself it's loyalty, even when it feels one-sided. That's why Dump could take a hit to his pride and still call YB daddy, not out of weakness, but out of deep respect for the man who gave him everything. But let's be real, this isn't a normal friendship. It's a bond built on dependence, emotional highs and lows, and the kind of tension most people would never speak about. YB's mental health struggles don't just impact him, they ripple through everyone in his circle. His crew isn't just living the superstar life, they're riding alongside someone whose moods can shift at any moment, and they've all learned how to adjust to survive. Fear or respect? That's the real question when it comes to NBA YoungBoy and his crew. Do they truly admire him, or are they just too afraid to cross him? On the surface, everything looks tight. His people are always with him, riding in his cars, shouting his name, defending him online. But when you look closer, that loyalty doesn't always seem natural. It feels heavy, almost like survival. Take Lil Dump, for example. He didn't just call YoungBoy daddy. He also brushed off situations that would have made most people walk away. The busted lip, the rumors, the tension. Dump never broke character. He stayed loyal, silent, and ready to move whenever YoungBoy gave the word. That kind of commitment isn't just about respect, it's something deeper, something that looks a lot like submission. And that raises the big question. If someone can watch their own pride take a hit and still stand beside you, is that real love or quiet fear? What happens when love and fear start to blend together? Inside YB's world, it doesn't always feel like a rap crew. It's more like a household with strict rules and one person in charge. YB runs things like a parent with his kids. He sets the rules, expects obedience, and makes sure everyone knows where they stand. DJ Academics even confirmed it himself. After visiting YB's home, he said it was like watching both sides of YoungBoy. Calm one moment, then snapping the next, checking his people hard and making sure they listened. But instead of fighting back, they stayed quiet. No arguments, no pushback, just silence and obedience. It was like watching a father scolding his kids, and it left fans wondering, is that real leadership or pure fear in disguise? Respect and fear can look the same from the outside. Both keep people loyal and in line, but the real difference comes down to choice. Respect means you follow someone because you believe in them. Fear means you follow because you're scared of what might happen if you don't. And when you look at how YB's crew moves, it's hard not to think that fear plays a big part in it all. Look at how YB treats people. Outsiders or insiders, the energy stays the same. He'll go off online, speak his mind without hesitation, call out rivals, or check fans if they cross the line. That same fiery attitude shows up with his own crew too. But the difference is, outsiders can walk away. His people can't. A fan can just scroll past. Another rapper might clap back online. But his inner circle, they're locked in. Their money, their safety, their entire families, all of it's tied to YB. So when he's upset, their only real move is to stay quiet, take it, and keep going like nothing happened. That's not an easy position to be in. It's a mix of loyalty, pressure, and survival, all rolled into one. But here's where it gets complicated. A lot of these guys truly love YB. They grew up with him, went through the same struggles, saw him climb from the bottom to become one of the biggest artists in the world. To them, he's not just the one in charge. He's living proof that you can make it out and win. It's not just plain fear. It's a twisted mix of emotions. Fear of losing him, respect for what he's accomplished, and full-on dependence on what he provides. That balance is exactly what keeps YB's circle locked together. He's unpredictable, sometimes harsh, but also deeply loyal to his people, in his own way. One night, he might call you out in front of everyone, and the next, he's handing you a chain or giving you a spotlight in his video. It's that push and pull energy that keeps everyone orbiting around him. That constant cycle makes it hard to tell where respect ends and fear begins. The truth is, YB's crew probably follows him for both reasons. They admire his grind, his music, and how he's changed their lives. But at the same time, they know how unpredictable his moods can get. That mix of loyalty and tension gives YB serious influence, not just as a rapper, but as someone who holds real control over everyone in his circle. He's not just talented, he's commanding. The way he earns complete loyalty from the people around him is something rare in the rap world. From the outside looking in, it's easy to see why some fans compare him to a leader figure, someone who people follow with absolute trust. And that comparison doesn't just come from the internet, it's something you can actually see in how his crew moves.
Think about it. In a typical rap crew, loyalty comes from friendship, money, or shared history. But in YoungBoy's world, it runs way deeper than that. His people don't just follow him, they revolve around him like planets around the sun. He's the provider, the mentor, the one who sets the rules and decides who's in or out. When YB snaps, his people just take it. And when he shows love, they act like it wipes away everything that happened before. That's not just loyalty anymore, that's full-on devotion. You can see that same energy reflected in his fan base too. YoungBoy's supporters are some of the most intense in hip-hop. They don't just stream his music, they defend his name online like it's their mission. Anytime YB's name pops up in controversy, his fans flood the comments, ready to stand up for him no matter what. And that's the same energy his crew gives him in real life. Always ready to protect him, always ready to move even when things don't fully make sense. That's where the leader figure comparisons start to make sense, because the loyalty goes beyond normal friendship or support. After all his legal issues, Yabi's isolation changed everything. He's been living out in Utah, far from the noise of the industry, and that distance has completely reshaped his world. Being cut off like that didn't just affect him, it made his crew depend on him even more. When you're away from everyone else, the only world you know becomes the one Yabi created. And that makes him the center of it all. Their money, their lifestyle, even their sense of belonging, it all connects back to him. And that's what makes this dynamic so powerful and complicated. It's like a system built on loyalty, love, and a touch of fear. The same mix that keeps everyone close even when things get messy. Whether he means to or not, Yabi has built a world where everyone around him revolves strictly around him. And that's why clips like Lil Dump calling him daddy hit so hard, because they show just how deep that devotion really runs. It almost sounds like worship. Dump doesn't look at Yabi as just a rapper or even a friend. He sees him as the man who changed his entire life, the one who pulled him out of nothing, built him up, and created the world he now lives in. That's devotion on a level that feels almost spiritual. And while calling Yabi a cult leader might sound over the top, when you see how his crew follows him, how his fans defend him without question, and how everything around him moves to his rhythm, the comparison doesn't seem too far-fetched. YoungBoy isn't just an artist or a provider, he's the core of a movement where everyone around him follows his rules no matter what it costs him. His influence goes beyond music. It's about control, leadership, and emotional power that runs deep through every part of his life. When you zoom out, the bigger picture becomes clear. This isn't just a rapper having tension with his friends. It's about power, control, and how fame can twist the way people relate to each other. Most artists surround themselves with yes men, people who just agree with everything they say. But with Yabi, it goes way beyond that. His crew doesn't just agree with him, they follow his lead completely. And the crazy part, they don't even seem to mind it. That's where the real danger lies. When one man has so much control that nobody around him dares to challenge it. It creates a loop that keeps repeating. One built on loyalty, fear, and dependence. Every outburst, every heated moment, every public meltdown, none of it gets called out. It just gets brushed off. And with YoungBoy, the fame and money only make it stronger. His crew knows they rely on him, so they learn to accept whatever comes with it, no matter how wild things get. But if history has shown us anything, it's that setups like this never last forever. At some point, somebody breaks. Either Yabi crosses a line that can't be ignored, or one of his own decides they've had enough. Loyalty can stretch, but it can't stretch forever. And when it finally snaps, that's when everything changes. That's when the fallouts happen, when trust disappears, and when people start realizing how deep the control really runs. The biggest story here isn't about one argument or one viral clip. It's about what happens when loyalty turns into dependence, and dependence turns into straight-up devotion. Yabi has built a world where everyone around him answers to him, but that same world could crumble from the inside at any moment. Power like that can only last so long before cracks start showing. So here's the real question. How long can Yabi keep that kind of loyalty alive before it all comes crashing down?